Hello, Dark Moon Doll here, better known as Trina. I wanted to answer a question from a viewer who was asking me the question, and I've answered this question before in a video form, but I thought I'd answer it again. And I was asked, am I a witch? And also, how would I get into learning more about becoming a witch? So here's a short answer that yes. And here's the long answer that it took many years for me to find my spirituality and where I'm supposed to be on my spiritual path on this planet. And I learned it through various ways. I learned just through reading, through observing nature, being out of nature, being around people that have been studying for many years. People who are witches have been witches for all their lives since they were a kid. The tradition passed down from daughter to granddaughter to great granddaughter and so on and so forth. I've met people like that had that kind of connection to their spirituality as being a witch. I didn't have that type of upbringing or foundation when it came to the spiritual path of being a witch. Being a witch, basically all it means is wise one. That's all that it means. So let's just dispel all the negative ideas that people have out there about witches. Witches have been seen as being a very negative force in the world through television and through movies. That's the type of perception that they put out there for people. What do I suggest for you to do to learn more? Just learn more. Buy books, study, actually practice what you're studying. Know that you are protected all the time and put that protection up for yourself. Read up about that. Really good books to start off with, I'd say, is Scott Cunningham's Wicca, the Solitary Practitioner. That's a good one. Raymond Buckland's a good resource, and several others. There's so many really good books on Wicca or witchcraft, the old religion. Some people just call it the old religion. Wicca, witch, wise one. I mean, whatever you want to say. You could call it the old religion because in the old religion, people were practicing as witches on a solitary basis. They weren't in a coven. That's the first witch was a solitary witch. So don't be afraid of your power. Protect yourself. Read up as much as you can and ask questions to people that you know you can trust. If there's any specific questions other than that, you can ask me if you like. I'll have my email in the description below, and you can contact me there and ask further questions. So hopefully this helps anybody out there. Just arm yourself with knowledge, get some books, read, and actually practice what you're reading. There's a lot of magazines out there too. There's a magazine called Sage Woman that gives you an idea of what it means to be a witch, what it means to celebrate the seasons, what it means to connect with nature, being outside in nature, and finding some solitary time to meditate with a candle. And if I do meditate with a candle, a lot of times I like to be able to buy a candle that's specific for that specific meditation and what I'm trying to do, that type of healing. So yeah, just start reading a lot. That's what I did throughout the years. And I started reading about witchcraft and Wicca and the old religion all the way back in, what would I say? I think it was mainly the late 90s is when I started to read more about what it means to be a witch, the history of witches. I mean, read the history of the witches. A lot of people that are drawn to this path have probably lived this way in a previous lifetime, and that's why you're drawn to it. Just like with anybody, they're drawn to certain things in this lifetime because it's carried over from another lifetime. I think your spirituality pretty much probably stays the same throughout lifetimes, you think, but anyway, but yeah, that's some basic things you could do. Just read as much as you can and ask questions to those who you know you can trust. Don't just start. I mean, and when you intention is everything. So if you're deciding to read up more about what it means to be a witch and the history of witches and what is actually what it's all about, really, intentions is everything. If you have the intention to learn how to cast spells so you can make people fall in love with you and all that, then that's not going to work too well for you in the end. So know your intentions and set them, and just read and study as much as you can. And as you study and read, actually practice with your reading and what you're studying. And as the years go by, you become more knowledgeable about things through the experiences you have. You know, you learn what works and learn what doesn't work. So yeah, so there you go. I hope this helps anybody out there that is searching and feels drawn towards this path. Just do all the reading that you need to do. Ask questions, like I said, to trusted people, and ask yourself questions too in meditation. And then you become drawn to those things that you want to learn more about. That's happened to me. I meditate and I ask for what it is I want, and I get drawn towards it so that I can see it. And you know, you just have to ask for it. So, alrighty, guys. Thank you for joining me today. Thanks for subscribing to my channel. Thank you for the likes and shares. And thank you for your kind comments. Leave your comments down below and let me know, you know, if you're on the same spiritual path. I feel drawn to nature. I'm connected to nature, Mother Earth, Father Sky, you know, the animals of nature, the plant life. All of it is beautiful, provided to us on Earth, and all of it has a magical element to it, and a magical feeling to it. So if you spend enough time out in nature, you'll figure that out. So, and then you'll realize whether or not this is a type of spirituality you want to be a part of. Some people feel more connected to Buddhism. Some people feel more connected to Christianity. Gnosticism. Some people feel more connected. You know, the list goes on. So whatever you feel drawn to is what you should study more about and find out what it's all about. And don't be afraid. So, alrighty, guys. On that note, brightest blessings to you all, and I'll see you soon.